Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode 102. We're only losing 2 riders this season, so as we enter the signing period, not much is changing. We were 3.5 stars. We're still 3.5 stars. You can see a tiny dip in our sprint capability from last season to the coming season, and that is because one of the 2 riders with the expiring contracts, top sprinter Monotoglu. First priority is, as long as he's not going to go outrageous on cost, we want to re-sign Monotoglu. And then we want to sign whatever the best rider we can get our hands on other than that, because right now, index-wise, we're not good enough. 15th right now, okay, technically that's good enough, but it's the first day of the signing period. There's a lot of expiring contracts. There's a lot of guys that are going to re-sign with their teams, like Monotoglu, that are going to give them a boost. Now, Monotoglu will certainly help our sprint capability, which we need because that's actually our weakest area now, even more than Cobble. Interesting. We're fairly well balanced. We can do lots of things. Without him, though, we would go back to struggling in the sprint area. Between he and Alves Machado, it's always whoever's better on the day, but the other one leads them out. Without that, losing that lead-out rider, either one of them, whichever one we were retaining, would be significantly weaker without a strong lead-out. German, decent. Wykankis are decent. They're setup guys. They're not your immediate lead-out. Having the one or the other leading out is kind of what gives us that combination, because individually, neither one of them is good enough to be a proper winner. It's collectively. So losing that collective element in a Monotoglu would hurt a lot. So hopefully we can retain him, and that will be set up for that in terms of the dossiers. And this is where we'll begin. Monotoglu does want to return, so we're set up there. Here are our targets in the dossiers. Only 3 of them got to 100%. That hurts. It hurts even more that Milton Hargill got to 97. He gained 60%. 97 is as good as where he was, though. That hurts. 30% above is where you get into the okay interest, and there isn't a significant difference in that gap. So Kaneda, Hargill, Labaki, and Paulus, they're going to want more money, and that's a problem for us. So Gazzoli or Stamati could potentially be our top targets. But let's open things up with a Monotoglu and see how that goes. That 5.8 potential, and I mean, he's almost there. He's a 77 sprint now, right? If he levels up again and just adds a couple more, if he goes like, say, 78, 77, that's starting to get pretty dang good. It's not great, but I don't have to be 80 plus to start winning some races. In fact, we're already starting to win some races with a 77, 75. But more regularly, just another 2 to 3 points collectively here would really start resulting in some wins. All right, let's see. It's only going to cost me 5 points to talk to him. We have plenty of money right now. Staff is already locked into a little bit of that, so we have roughly 28,000. We can clear the staff and spend all of that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. He does not want a lot of money. That is a 3-year deal. I'm okay with Absolute Leader if that's what he wants, but let's try Absolute Sprinter as, sprinter, roll, sprinter, yes. I don't even want to change it. This is ideal. Yes, he took it. Okay. Oh, that is brilliant. So, now what do we have? We still have about 25,000 now to spend. So, who do we go after? Hargill, Kaneda. Let's draw some comparisons. I want to go Lubaki, Paulus, Makine are last choices. We need a big team leader type. He's only a 4.6 Barrador. A little bit classic. Not going to help us much. Really not. Except with that average. Already 25. And not at 100% interest. So I'm thinking of starting with one of these three. Michel Gazzoli. Sprinter. High potential. Great acceleration. Though not a great sprinter. Oh, they both have it. Okay, so he is a classics rider. Flat. He's got some punchiness. Cobble's not that great for a classics rider. Just got downhill. He's got stamina. This reminds me so much of my pro cyclist rider. He's missing a few things, but really high potential. Making 12,000 right now. What is Gazzoli making? 20,000 already? Really? Canada is making 22,000. Okay, Mr. Hargill. Milton Hargill. 5'8" potential. More helpful in so many ways. Younger than the others. Still has that super high potential. Already making 21,000 though. Climber. 79 mountain rating. Good time trial. Resistance could use some work. So, a GC guy. A sprinter. Or two guys that have no real quality. He wants 17,000. But we can afford 17. We can afford 17. But we're going to come back to that. We've already spent the points. We'll get it back. Gazzoli, the sprinter? Yes. Let's see what he wants. He wants a little bit less. Can't get both out of that, though. And with the 100% interest, he's more likely to be happy with the money and not demand significantly higher. That would leave us money potentially to go after like a McKinney. McKinney, by the way, is a 4.7 with no current team. Always like to sign those a little cheaper. Already a 75-75 sprint, meaning he would add some depth to that and really give us three quality guys there. He's already right at that 73. So I think we start with Gazzoli then. He started so low. He's not going to level up much at all. Hargill, on the other hand, probably still has some growth ahead of him. He got one tiny level up right there. Time trial. After carefully analyzing all 7 choices that I have, other than already re-signing Amanatoglu, McKinney is one I really would like to sign with any money left over. McKinney is a natural 73 who just regened, is already a 73 with very high potential, meaning first season, liable to level up quite a few times. So should be a 75 or 76 within a year. That is a great acquisition. And probably won't cost us much. 3,000 or 4,000, maybe 5. Paulus has a scout assignment. Haven't gotten the report back, which is weird because there was only a couple assignments, but it was just middle of July. So I guess sometimes it takes more than 2 weeks, even for a simple one. Lobaki, low potential. That was our beginning of July one. So Lobaki, not happening. So we're looking at the top 4. Hargill, Stamati, Gazzoli, Canada. They all have good potential. But after careful analysis, all 4 of them have been in the game for 4 or 5 seasons. All 4 of them have already seen massive development from mid-60s or below. Meaning that even though all 4 of them have high potential, all 4 of them have just about hit that potential. And all 4 of them have drastically slowed down in the last season and a half to 2 seasons. That means all 4 of them are not very desirable. I don't necessarily want any of them, but we need them. We absolutely have to have one of these riders. No doubt about it. If we have any chance of qualifying for the World Tour this season, it's only going to happen on the backs of one of these 4 guys, with Rodriguez and Vermark. Canada has a little bit of an edge with the higher average, but has the worst range of attributes. Very useless besides having a high average. Gazzoli and Stamati have an advantage in pay demands, as they have the highest interest level. Stamati is also a Barador, so let's rule out Stamati. Barador, well, Northern Classics, but look at his attributes. He's a Barador. So we have Gazzoli or Hargill or Canada. Canada, again, only thing is that he's a 77. So Gazzoli or Hargill, more realistic choices. So do I try to save money and go with Gazzoli, who adds another sprinter to the mix, makes us a little bit stronger in the sprint, but not much. He really is comparative with Amanatoglu. And then if we're getting Makine, then all of a sudden we're getting 3 sprinters. Good acceleration. Not very good sprint. Better stamina, better recovery. But he's got nothing else. I mean, he's just a flat 71. He can't climb. He's not going to do punch. He's not going to do well in a classic with some cobbled points before you come to a sprint. Stamati, again, isn't going to do anything. Hargill is. Hargill is absolutely set to do something for us. He's only 23, so yes, he has developed for quite a while. He was 17, 18-year-old, or 18 entering, but he'll absolutely contribute somehow. I think I want to try to pursue Hargill first, as he's literally the most useful of these guys. A strong climber will come in handy in so many ways, so many stages. And he's got good time trialing, meaning he might not be Rodriguez, but he will be a great right-hand man for Rodriguez, while Gazzoli just kind of enters the mix with Amanatoglu. But I think those have got to be my top 2 choices. Hargill, depending on the money. Gazzoli, depending on the money, because I know he's going to be the cheap one. Or Canada, because of the overall average. Not necessarily happy with any of the choices or the money we're going to have to spend to get them. But this is what it takes to get to the next level. So we'll try 21. I'm going to have to spend. Oh, we got him. We got him. 21.8. That does put us over our limit, but we could fire the staff, make it happen. It's going to raise the index to 13. Not happy with the kind of money that we're going to pay Michel Gazzoli, who's really not much of an upgrade. Good acceleration, but not good top speed. I had exactly 2,500 left, and I went ahead and spent it. I've got one more rider sign here, Yanko Orakovic. And You can see here he is a 6'7" potential. He's the rider that I've close monitored this season. 18-year-old, just coming out on the scene. No development yet, so good timing there to bring him in, and we should see quite a bit of development. As a 71, he'll be a support rider early on, but give him a season or two, and he'll be in the mix for our top sprinter. So we can see with the return of Amanatoglu and the additions of Gazoli and Rikovic, that's 3 riders, all sprinters. Not very diverse. It does bring our yellow line back on par with the blue line from last season. So there is that. But ultimately, the team is just as good as it was. Gazoli did not make us better, and that was the point I was trying to make there. But where it did make us better is his overall average is higher. He's a 76. So our index is now a 76. We got 277s and a 76 at the top of the team. That raised the index a bit higher. It's 13th right now. It's not going to stay there. It's going to drop. I think I needed to be 4 stars or above if we're going to make it to the World Tour. Remember, we were literally the last team in Continental Pro. I'm not sure we've made enough. I don't think we were literally the last team this second season in Continental Pro. Were we? I don't remember any longer. I think we were more comfortable, but only a few spots above the bottom. We were lower mid of the 3.5 stars. You can now see that we are right towards the top of the 3.5 stars. So we're approaching that 4-star mark, but we're not there. The good thing is we have a clear top 3, and all 3 are good potential guys. If we're lucky, over the next 2 months, one of them or more will level up. And that could give us another rise in the index, maybe get us to 4 stars, and maybe get us over the line. I'm not sure we're there yet. And we might have to take whatever money we bring in next season and dump that into upgrades once again. A week into the period, the first good news is somebody finally climbed out of the cellar that was our trap of 73s. Eddie Moreau has eclipsed a whole bunch of riders to do that. I think he was a 72. He's already hit 74. So good job for him, and you can see how balanced he is, getting into the mid-70s in a lot of attributes. Looking pretty dang good. Roglic has gone to Israel Startup Nation. Benut extends. We're starting to get the first wave of signings, really just today. And already we jumped down to 19th. First day of signings. And we jumped down to 19th. 2 weeks into the signing period, Evenepoel extends. Tentoni going to Ducanic Quickstep, moving up to the World Tour now. Alaphilippe extends. Zeta extends with Sunweb, so they're both at the World Tour now. Yermakov, Jumbo Visma. Dumoulin extending. Bernal extends. Pogacar extends. Ginn, fractured vertebrae. Oof, painful. I should know. Done that. No changes on our board. And no change to the index. We're still hanging on to 19th right now. Current look, a couple weeks in. It's the last spot. That's not looking so good that we're going to hang on to this right now. You can see we've actually slipped below some of the other 3.5 stars. Our only way is one of these guys leveling up and us getting to a full 77 points. A lot of 78s, a lot of 77s, and a lot of 76s. Any of those can hurt us, which means we have almost no chance outside of somebody leveling up. These guys still all the same. None of them have changed right now. We'll keep an eye on that as time goes on as well. 2 days away from the potential Ride London Surrey Classic. That'll be our next race. We really lucked out on this race. There are some guys on Fitness Peaks. There are guys who had objectives. One guy, I think, with an objective. But we really did luck out. The reason being is there are 4 riders with a positive race day condition bonus. Literally all 4. All 4 of them are 4 sprinters that are here at this race. More than that, there's 2+2s and 2+4s. The 2+4s are the top 2 sprinters, Monotoglu, Alves Machado. I have an embarrassment of riches when it comes to a choice of sprinter today and those support riders. Telford for Mark, but we can use them up anytime we need to either chase down these 11 who still have a 2-minute gap, or to set up and get us out front early. But I like our chances of a good result today. Monotoglu and Alves Machado are both going to be really, really quick. The only downside when you have something like that is whoever ends up being the lead out guy is going to do damage to the guy following him, because he's going to be so quick. He's going to be so fast that as a lead out rider, he's going to hurt his own man, and he's going to have a little less to go. So as long as we go a little later, but we've got 4 quick guys. So as long as we go a little bit later, we'll be okay. 50K to go. We need to get water one final time. And we are definitely experiencing some fatigue, and I don't think everybody's right at the front. No, we're okay. And it's all back together. Inside 25K. Let's make sure we're staying put at the top. Telford's nearly done.
There's nobody out in front,
and that
so
is okay. I'm perfectly content with there being some damage into the field.
The group is slowly thinning out due to such a
45 left in the peloton.
15 kilometers remaining.
That was the last hill. It's flat. We're in London. It's flat to the finish. Whoa, 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 group going away. Okay, time to move is right now. We're going to have to chase pretty hard, or these guys are going to go take the stage.
And off he
or the
goes.
race,
He's
that is.
one last go.
Okay, we're going to pull back the first bunch here in just a moment. They're not racing on.
Only
And
10
3
kilometers
still
left.
away. 10K to go. And Vermark's going to have to chase pretty hard here. Bring these 3 guys back. 11 was going to be probably too much. It was going to be hard to pull back 11 if we didn't go immediately. Not as hard to chase down 3 riders. Okay, German. Gel up. 7.5K to go.
The little promenade
And
is
there you go.
over.
We've got
The
him.
group has been overhauled.
Okay, Vermark is still out front. He's out of red bar, but he can go a little longer. 6.5K. Gel. Gel and gel. Alright.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers
And
of the
Vermark
stage.
is done. 4.5K to go. 98 for German. It's not going to last long. We're inside 4K. 3.5. Okay, 99. Alright, we're still in the optimum position. How we doing back here? Nice, long, strung out. Really difficult to do something where position really matters. Having some quick men makes a difference. Okay, still 99. We're going to accelerate out of the corner. 2K.
And
Here we
the
go.
final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line
Kankis
today?
leading us out for now. Okay. 900 meters. We got to save that. See how we're doing some damage? See how we're doing some damage? We've split it off. 10 riders. 10 riders. Okay. 500 meters. On a Toglu. Let's see a little acceleration here. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's not going to get it. He's going to get second, isn't he? He's going to get second. Oh, so close. Oh, we got third. Oh, it looked like second. I thought he had second, but third. Third's good. Third is good. For a 77 sprinter, third is good. Well, Fanart takes the win. Gritsay somehow beat us by millimeters. I thought we beat him by about a fifth of a wheel. Not enough. Wouters fourth. Gotti fifth. Alves Machado, great lead out. Sixth. Also did exactly what I expected. He was so fast that he hurt Amatoglu. Amatoglu never quite got up to speed. Really only the difference was the resistance factor, right? Amatoglu was able to have a little bit still left in the tank and keep going while Alves Machado faded. But he didn't really get to any point. He was still kind of building speed and had very little resistance to do that. So that was kind of the downside to that tactic. But it did ultimately work. We made it really hard on a lot of guys. Stuyven, 12th. Asgreen, who's quite quick, normally up there. Christopher Lawless was 19th. Guy that I'm normally going head-to-head with was 19th. Okay, that was what we were up against here. So we crushed a lot of the regular sprinters we go against. This wasn't exactly the fastest sprinters in the world, but it was some very good ones. Van Aert is very quick. So ultimately, it was the right tactic. I mean, you see the huge gap we opened behind us. We destroyed the field, but the sprinters were all here, and they were all single file. But some of the guys were just a little too good, too strong, and that's why we're not quite there yet. But we got a podium. So I've gone forward just a few days. Zach Johnson just completed a 4th place finish at the Tour of Utah for the overall. Moreno hangs on to a top 10. Rainsford was also just outside of the top 10. Good result in the overall. Could be better. Certainly could have been far worse. Nairo Quintana was actually only 3rd. So that kind of result is welcome. But no change in the level. And a whole wave of recruitments has been completed again. And we've now slipped well outside of World Tour status. So we are comfortable Continental Pro, not World Tour. So with a month and a half to go, our only hope, is Rodriguez, realistically, the most likely. But for Mark, been sitting on 77 since middle of last season. He's almost done leveling up, but it's been a full year now since he has progressed. He's due for a level. He still has potential. So, for Mark level, Rodriguez could certainly level up again and soon. Or our new man, any of those 3 leveling up could be the boost that could get us back into the mix for promotion. But a lot of that's also going to come down to what is left. What's left out there? The big names are gone. They are completely gone now. Benjamin Sturm is a 75 overall. Shan Adcock is a 74 overall. And Minoru Kondo is a 74 overall. Young riders, 3 guys. Nobody else is going to impact. And those 3 are very unlikely to impact an index. So we're pretty locked in at 24th. Even though it's only 2.5 weeks in. We're pretty locked in. That means one of those guys leveling up could be enough. It still could be enough. So it's not over yet. But we've got to monitor these 3 and their progress over the next month and a half. And then we'll see what happens. In those rankings, as expected, it's a 4-star cutoff. In fact, the top 4-star team, Circus Wani Gobert, it's not enough for them. They're out. And it was exactly the same last season, right? There was 2 or 3 teams, 4 stars missed out, and then it was 3.5. And it was 3.5 all the way down into Continental level. See, this season, 3.5 is actually plenty to get Continental Pro, but we've moved up that list quite a bit. But we're going to need to hit 4 stars or better. I don't know if one level, right, getting a full 77. It could be 77.5. I have no idea that it takes to get up there, in which case we're still 2 level ups. 1 level up will at least boost us up 3 or 4 spots, and that's going to get us in play. So here's to hoping it can happen. It's going to be tight. It is tight. We are comfortable Continental Pro finally. World Tour is still maybe 1 more season away. Oh, man. I hope not. We got 3 young, good top riders. But we're going to start seeing some expiring contracts next season. We didn't have much. Rainsford's the only rider going out this season. I like Rainsford, but he's a 1 to 4 potential. I think he might have been a 4 or a 3, but he's pretty much done upgrading. He's not going anywhere, so parting ways with him. But yeah, it's a little worrying. A little worrying that we might still be in for 1 more season at this level. And then development in-house may be enough as long as we have all 3 guys coming back. And for Mark going into the last season of his contract, he might be. Yeah, he is. He's going into the last season of his contract. But for Mark, really hasn't leveled up much. So how much more would he charge than what he's already making? 5,000 more? 8,000 more? We'll certainly have that much to play with. 10,000 more? We're still going to have that to play with. Sponsor confidence is going up, whether we're in World Tour or not. We'll get our mark. We're cruising 100% these days. That is going to do it for this episode, though. Progress has been made. Again, we're finally comfortable as a Continental Pro, but the goal was to jump to World Tour, and we spent the stupid money on a guy who's really not that good to help us make that jump. Looks like we may be missing out. But again, it's not over yet. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.